you think Yandy and Mendeecees have an open relationship?
At some point, maybe living in your truth is probably a better option.
There was a lot of excitement in the studio as Carlos King, the dynamic presenter of Reality with the King, got ready to greet Kirk Frost and Rasheeda. Carlos was renowned for his unvarnished, unadulterated conversations, and the set's sleek, contemporary design and gentle lighting offered the ideal, intimate setting. The couple, Atlanta hip-hop and love veterans, walked in with the assurance of those who have endured public controversies and emerged stronger. As she sat on her chair, Rasheeda's lively energy filled the room, her braids flowing, and Kirk's gaze scanned the tiny audience with a composed, grounded presence. Carlos did not hesitate to get right to the core of their tale. Leaning forward, he inquired about their 20-year marriage in a kind yet incisive tone, uncommon in the unstable realm of reality television.
Do you feel like Yandy and Mendeecees are trying to come for y'all's spot?
Hey, long story short, me and Rasheeda contract was up in month. That's what really happened.
Speaking openly about the difficulties they had encountered, Rasheeda, the weight of someone who has battled for love through scrutiny and betrayal was evident in her comments. Kirk, despite his restraint, acknowledged his past errors in a serious manner while outlining the methodical, gradual process of restoring confidence. The audience was captivated by their every word, feeling that their journey was genuine. Yet, the discussion took a sudden change in direction when Carlos changed. He had the mischievous sparkle in his eyes of an experienced host who understood how to stir things up without breaking them. Bringing up Yandy Smith, Harris and Mendeecees are another hip-hop superstar couple whose apparent strong friendship has been the focus of recent rumors. A pause flickered across Rasheeda's face as her expression hardened. A deep connection was formed between her and Yandy. Kirk, meanwhile, moved in his chair, his jaw clenched as though preparing for what was about to happen after years of shared victories and hardships. Carlos persisted in gently pressing Rasheeda to divulge her knowledge. After a brief internal argument, she gave in, her voice calm but worried. She described a worrisome talk she had with a common friend who was really close to them and who had disclosed disturbing Mendeecees specifics. Although Rasheeda was cautious of rumors due to her loyalty to Yandy, the friends detailed descriptions of late-night escapades, amorous encounters, and incriminating texts that had started to circulate among those in the know, including screenshots, made it impossible to ignore. Kirk added, sounding more circumspect but no less candid. His bond with Mendeecees was that of a buddy, based on mutual respect and industry-wide experiences. However, Kirk noted a recent change in Mendeecees, a conjurer who had not previously been there. Kirk attempted to confront the claims by asking Mendeecees directly if everything was all right at home, but he brushed it off as blog rubbish. Though devotion prevented him from pressing too hard, Kirk's instincts told him otherwise. Rasheeda's next statement came as a silent surprise. Her voice softened as she recalled the talk, and she said that she had approached her friend carefully, not wanting to add to her problems but also not wanting to surprise her. Yandy had given a remarkably muted answer. Her typical scathing rejection of rumors had been replaced by a vague admission that she and Mendeecees were working through some issues. Lack of denial was a powerful statement. The sadness beneath her friend's well-chosen remarks was audible to Rasheeda. Sitting in complete stillness, the audience took in the seriousness of the disclosure. Carlos, who is always brilliant at timing, lets the moment settle before delving further. When he inquired about how Yandy was handling the stress, Rasheeda gave a considerate response, expressing her appreciation for Yandy's inner strength as a mother, entrepreneur, and champion who managed Mendeecees' imprisonment and the pressures of celebrity while creating an empire. Even the strongest women, however, had their limitations, as Rasheeda was aware. Rasheeda was concerned that Yandy might be pushed to the brink if Mendeecees was really betraying her confidence. In response to Carlos's question, Kirk shared his viewpoint as someone who had previously been in Mendeecees' position. His voice was heavy with experience and insight as he discussed the implications of adultery. He was honest about the suffering it caused and the work it took to fix what was damaged. If a man desired to preserve his family, Kirk felt he must take full responsibility for his conduct. No deflections, no excuses. Because Kirk was accountable and his statements were sincere, the audience nodded in accord. As Carlos sensed the emotional climax, he began to think more broadly. He sought Rasheeda's opinion. Currently, she would give Yandy. Because they had both experienced managing fame and love as women, her answer was both sweet and ferocious. She discussed preserving one's peace of mind by understanding when to fight and when to back off. According to Rasheeda, Yandy deserved respect and honesty, and if Mendeecees was unable to provide, she was strong enough to pave her own way. The crowd murmured their approbation as the conversation continued because the words struck a deep chord. Descending, Rasheeda was teased by Carlos about whether she and Yandy would discuss the drama on the upcoming season of Love and Hip Hop, which lightened the mood. When Rasheeda laughed, her warmth eased the stress. Quickly dismissing the notion, she insisted that certain exchanges were too genuine for the cameras. Her relationship with Yandy was holy, and they would only talk about it in private, out of the public eye. Kirk is nodded in agreement. Their united front is demonstrated by his silent support. As the show came to an end, Carlos thanked Kirk and Rasheeda for being so transparent. His voice was full of appreciation as he turned to the audience and urged them to subscribe and tune in for more uncensored moments. When the cameras panned out, Rasheeda and Kirk exchanged a look and acknowledged the weight they had just unloaded without saying anything. Lights in the studio diminished, but the influence of what they said continued to spread to both friends and admirers. For Rasheeda, the podcast was an opportunity to support a friend while speaking truth to power, not just a gossip session. It was a chance for Kirk to consider development and share a warning story. Also, it served as a reminder to Yandy that she wasn't alone and that her support system was there for her despite there were murmurs flying around. The narrative was not yet finished, but in that studio, a chapter had been shown to the world in all its rawness and reality under Carlos's deft supervision. There was a lot of excitement in the studio as Carlos King, the dynamic presenter of Reality with the King, got ready to greet Kirk Frost and Rasheeda. Soft lighting and a sleek, contemporary set produced a cozy ambiance ideal for the type of unadulterated, unrefined discussion Carlos was recognized for. The duo are hip-hop and love veterans. People who had survived public crises and emerged, stronger strode into Atlanta. As she sat on her chair, Rasheeda's lively energy filled the room, her braids flowing, and Kirk's gaze scanned the tiny audience with a composed, grounded presence. Carlos did not hesitate to get right to the core of their tale. Leaning, he inquired about their 20-year marriage, which is uncommon in the unstable realm of reality TV, in a kind but incisive tone. Speaking openly about the difficulties they had encountered, Rasheeda, the weight of someone who has battled for love through scrutiny and betrayal, was evident in her comments. Kirk, despite his restraint, acknowledged his past errors in a serious manner while outlining the methodical, gradual process of restoring confidence. The crowd persevered, their every word feeling the sincerity of their voyage. But when Carlos changed topics, the discussion took an unexpected turn. He brought up Yandy Smith-Harris and Mendeecees, another hip-hop power couple whose reportedly strong friendship had been the focus of recent rumors. His eyes shone with the mischievousness of an experienced host who understood how to boil the pot without cracking it. The work of Rasheeda. Her face clenched, a moment of doubt flashing over it. Her connection with Yandy was built on years of shared victories and setbacks. Kirk moved in his chair, his jaw clenched as though he was anticipating what would happen next. Rasheeda was softly but firmly persuaded to divulge what she knew by Carlos. After some introspection, she gave in. Her tone was calm yet worried. She described an unpleasant chat with a common acquaintance who is well connected to them and who shared disturbing information about Mendeecees. Although Rasheeda was cautious of rumors due to her loyalty to Yandy, The friends' detailed descriptions of late-night escapades, amorous encounters, and incriminating texts that had started to circulate among those in the know, including screenshots, made apparent not dismissible, Kirk said in a tone that was more circumspect but no less candid.